Hi, good afternoon everyone. I am Renalyn Cenon from BS Entrep 1-2, and today I am going to talk about one of the factors affecting crops production, which is clouds. So it was the lecture number 25 part 1. So clouds. Clouds is an aggregation of minute drops of water suspended in the air at the higher altitude. Visible aggregate of tiny water droplets and or ice crystals suspended in the atmosphere and can exist in a variety of shapes and sizes. It can occur at any level of the atmosphere wherever there is sufficient moisture to allow condensation to take place. So, clouds occur in any part of the atmosphere as long as there is moisture which allow condensation. Next, the creation of clouds begin at ground level. So, meaning, from the ground level, meron nang nakikreate na clouds. So, troposphere, it is the layer where almost all clouds exist. So, troposphere, it was just the layer of the earth from above the ground. So, non-aqueous or solid particles, such as those present in the fume, smoke, or dust, are also the part of clouds. So, meaning from ground level pa lang, meron ng creation ng clouds. Next is the development of clouds. Clouds, snow, and rain are all made up of some form of water. Clouds components composed of tiny water droplets and or ice crystals. So, meaning clouds, it was composed of tiny water droplets and ice crystals. So, meaning it is made up of snowflakes and rain. So, snowflakes, it was an aggregate of many ice crystals, while rain, on the other hand, is just a liquid water. Next is, air contains large amount of water vapor. Moisture is a necessary ingredient for the production of clouds and precipitation. So, meaning moisture, it was the number one thing needed for a clouds to be formed. So, all clouds are formed of water. So, meaning if there will be no water, so no clouds will be formed. Condensed atmospheric moisture in the form of minute water droplets or ice crystals. Air at ground level is denser than air higher up, and as the warm air rises, it expands and becomes less dense. Expansion cools the air, and as the air cools, the water vapor that is present in the air condenses into tiny microscopic droplets. Next, clouds formation. Clouds formation depends on how much water is in the atmosphere, the temperature, the air current, and topography. So, yung clouds na mo-form, it depends. So, kung gaano kadami yung water or kung ano yung temperature or yung topography ng isang lugar. So, meaning, if there is no water, there will be no clouds because, of course, all clouds are in a form of water. So, if condensation occurs below the freezing point, the cloud is made up of crystal. So, if condensation happens and it was below the freezing point, so the clouds will contain ice crystals. So, warm and cold air fronts as well as topography can control how air rises. So, of course, warm air and cold air fronts also have this biggest contribution on how clouds form. So, when warm air and cold air meet, so the cold air sinks while the warm air rises, which wherein when this warm air rises and it gets cooler, a clouds was formed. Next is the cloud formation. So, clouds form during vigorous uptake of air, stolen and stuck appearance. So, we can see it on the picture how it looks like naman. So, next is clouds form during gentle uplift of air, is flat or stratified appearance. So we can see there's a big difference naman between the two. So this is how clouds form during this uplift of air. After clouds droplets or ice crystals form, then either they collide with each other and grow by joining together to such a large size that they fall to the ground as rain or snow, or they evaporate and change back to water vapor. So it's either they fall to the ground or evaporate back to water vapor. So it is estimated that on average, about one half of all clouds material eventually falls to the earth as precipitation, while the other half re-evaporate. So next is the classification of clouds. So first is the cumulus. Like all clouds, cumulus clouds are made of tiny droplets of water. They are tall and puffy. So some can look like towers, some can look like cauliflowers. When sunlight hit these clouds, they look bright and white. So this cloud is what we see when it is sunny. So makikita natin to kapag medyo maaraw itong mga gantong uri ng clouds. Next is, in stratus clouds, water droplets collect into flat shapes like pancakes. So it was the exact difference of the cumulus clouds. So kung ang cumulus tall and puffy, ito namang stratus thick lang or thin, and it can stop up like the layers in a cake. So they are not round like cakes, and the edge can take different shapes. Next is cirrus. In cirrus clouds, water droplets collect to form thin curves with no clear shapes. So they look like curls of hair or string. We can also see a lot of sky. So ito yung sobrang ninipis lang talaga nitong gantong uri ng cloud. Cirrus clouds are found high in the sky. So ito sobrang taas na ng position nito. It was about 18,000 feet or above. So at this height, most of the water droplets in clouds turn to tiny pieces of ice. Lastly is the cumulonimbus. The cumulonimbus clouds can hold all their water droplets. When droplets join together, they form bigger drops, and these drops can become so heavy that they fall as rain, snow, or hail. So cumulonimbus clouds look tall and puffy, and Crayon may bring thunder and lightning. So, itong cumulonimbus, it was like cumulus, which is tall and puffy clouds. However, the difference is that in cumulonimbus, it can bring thunder and lightning. So, it also bring rain, snow, o kaya naman yung hail. Kasi nga, itong cumulonimbus clouds is what we see when there is storm. So, makikita natin to when it's about to rain. Next is clouds effect on crops. So, we all know that clouds has a big impact on our crops. So, first is the negative effects. It can cause damage through flooding and blizzards. So, of course, we all know that clouds can bring storms, sometimes super heavy rains, which is really bad for the crops. So, we can see naman in the picture na sobrang lakas nung baha, nadala na yung mga crops, yung mga mais, natutumba na siya kasi nga sobrang lakas ng rain. Also, in this other picture, we can see na nasisira yung mga pananim. So, the crops were destroyed because of too much flooding. So, however, may positive effect din naman yung clouds. So, they play the vital role of delivering fresh water from the oceans onto land through rain. So, after the water from the oceans evaporated, so, yung clouds, hinahatid naman niya yun sa mga crops through rain. So, of course, wag lang siya sobrang lakas na rain. So, it will be a good effect on crops. So without clouds, most land would be dry and inhospitable. So of course, without clouds, walang magdidilig sa lupa, sa mga halaman through rain. So wala ding tatabon sa sun para huwag masyadong makarating yung sunlight dito sa earth. So of course, agriculture would be impossible without clouds. So it will really be hard and it will really not be possible for farmers or those businessman or business woman to um, make it possible for agriculture to exist without clouds. So, in this picture, we can see naman how it is beautiful for a crops kapag sakto lang yung sunlight, then pag nag-click siya ng ayos, so ganun ka-importante yung clouds for our crops. So, therefore, this clouds is really important and it has a big impact on crops. So, thank you for listening. That's all for my topic. Have a good day.